Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Stanley. Today, in this occasion, I will present about reader response, interpreting the Variorum by Stanley. First, reader response theory. Reader response theory allows for increases and insights by the reader, describes what goes on in the reader's mind while reading or viewing. So overall, the reader response shows that the role of the reader becomes very important for the meaning of the text. The purpose of the text response is to examine and explain one's personal interpretation of the text. For example, we can imagine about the feelings when they're sad, angry, or the ambience about setting of the house and how we imagine about the character itself. Next, reader response criticism. Reader response criticism is a school of literary theory that focuses on the reader and their experience of a literary work, in contrast to other schools and theories that focus attention primarily on the author or content and form of the work. Next, the profile of Stanley Eugene Fish. Stanley Fish was an American critic of English literature in the 17th century. Stanley Fish is one of several critical figures who made the theory of reader response, which has the most significant progress. He is an author and public intellectual. Next, interpreting the Variorum. Variorum is a work that collates all known variants of the text. Variorum will put an individual or group article to be analyzed side by side in a more efficient way. The second point, his essay, Interpreting Variorum, in 1976, introduced his concept of interpretive communities, a concept explored more fully in his book. The title of the book is There a Text in the Class? The Authority of Interpretive Communities in 1980, where he addresses the important question of the role of institutions, and in particular the literary institution, in the construction of meaning. So overall, the existence of interpreting the Variorum raises Fish's idea of interpretive communities, and I'm going to explain the interpretive communities later. After this, the third point, Fish points out that the responsibility for judgment and interpretation is transferred from the text to its reader. The meaning is not somehow contained in the text, but it's created within the reader's experience. It's about, like I said on the first slide, so Stanley Fish entrusts everything to the reader, or interpreting a text is dependent on the reader. And personally, I agree with it because we have our own perspective when we read something, and the commentary from one reader and another may different because we had different situations and we have different ambience too. Next, formalist analysis. The first point, a formalist analysis locates meaning within the forms and verbal structure of the text itself. We'll ignore the reader's experience of the text, which is temporal and contains modifications and shifts of viewpoint. The second point, the central assumption of formalist analysis calls positivist, holistic, and spatial. So the central assumption of formalist analysis is to which Fish stands opposed is that there is a sense that is encoded in the text and that it can be taken in a single glance. Fish calls this assumption as positivist, holistic, and spatial. The third point, the goal of formalist analysis. The goal of such analysis is to settle on a meaning. to step back from the text and then to put together or calculate the discrete units of significance it contains. His objection to such approach is that it takes the text as a self-sufficient entity and ignores or devalues the reader's activities. What we should be describing, he believes, is the structure of the reader's experience rather than any structures available on the page. So again, Fish really let the readers to give their opinion of the text based on their experience. Next, there is a quote from Stanley Fish. The reader's activity should be the center of attention, where they are regarded not as leading to meaning, but as having meaning. So the reader is the most important thing in Stanley Fish's theory. Next, interpretive communities. The first point, Stanley Fish teaches that readers are members of an interpretive community or group that is interacting, shaping reality and general meaning, and using it in their reading process. Back to his book entitled Is There a Text in this class, in which he tries to persuade readers to use the same strategy as him. But of course, many other groups have different types of strategies. The goal of this interpretive community is to determine the reader's process regarding the facts of the text and their experience. The second point, it is possible if each reader has different interpretive strategy. Yes, it is possible because each reader may not have some experience even though they are reading the same text. Another example is when one person reads using interpretive strategy 1 and another person uses interpretive strategy 2, and they read the same text, and they will have a different reading experience because it is very possible that they cannot grasp the explanation that can be captured by other readers because they use different strategies. So the last one, we can conclude that what we perceive as our individual subjective response to a literary work is actually a product of the interpretive community we belong to. A competent reader does not deviate from the author's intent, even when composing the text through his own interpretation. Thank you from me. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.